Good evening, everybody. And if you're live, I hope you're doing well. If you're watching this on a replay, I hope still you're doing well. So, yeah, as many people may know, I went to Hamvention this last weekend. I had a great old time. Most of my videos I did in shorts. I didn't really interview anybody per se. I didn't review on the spot really any products. I just kind of went there and took in the sights. In fact, I think tomorrow I'm going to try to download the video of me walking around the flea market part of Hamvention on the second day, which was probably one of the bigger of the 3 days of the flea market, and I'll repost it. It was just a ton. I didn't even get all the way through it because I wanted to go do something else. So, yeah, there was just a ton to see and do there. It was a great time. I know I saw Carlos in the chat, Life at Terminal Velocity. If you're not subscribed to him, go subscribe to him. I know he was there. We ran into each other quite a few times. See Lone Mowers in the chat. I don't think you were there, bud, but maybe next time, right? And what's up, Covain? So, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and start playing this video. I'm gonna try not to pause it too many times, and I'm also gonna post it up like in the raw format without me, yammering over it. So if people just want to see what the show looked like, they can. This was taken Sunday morning, so one or two vendors might have already left by then. I know for a fact, like Radio Oddity already left by then. Not much you can do about that, but yeah, I took it Sunday before most everybody was in the gate. I think this was even before the gate opened, so shouldn't be very many people. So without further ado, we can. I'm gonna mute the sound. I mean, it's just like kind of background sound. We had Bridgecom there. They were just, doing their whole giveaway thing as usual. There's a familiar face for some of y'all. Hamriado Adventure guy. That's Tristan. He owns Eagle One antennas. Good folks. I'm gonna pick up one of these. Tristan, I guess, sold out of all of them. All the ones he brought to the show. There's Arrow Antenna. Yeah, AMSAT had a pretty big setup this year. I don't know in comparison to the other years, but they had a pretty big setup. So I guess they're doing pretty well, and they had some really cool stuff on display too. I think I got it in one of my live streams. I need to like re-upload my live streams so people can go back because I went to the tables a little more detailed than this. Like I said, I didn't really interview anybody, but DX Engineering over there on the left had a big old setup. What else did we have here? I don't know what they were about. American Contingency. Seems like they're like selling bug out. N3ZN keys. They seemed like they did pretty well over the weekend. Like I said, I'm gonna re-upload this. So if you ever want to pause and like look at a table in more detail, I took this video in like 1080p, so it should be detailed enough. Yeah, I hope you can make it next year. There's a Shack in a Box. They had some pretty cool stuff on display. Step IR. These guys, they're like doing like flight tracking. It was actually really cool. And some other people made videos about them. So, I'm trying to think who did. Maybe Frank or Jason did. I don't remember. Did I walk through DX Engineering? Yeah, I walked through DX Engineering a little bit. They had some like radios on display, antennas, parts, gizmos, gadgets, all sorts of stuff. And this is before the show opened. So before you say, "Oh, there's no one at the show," like again, this was before the show opened, like really shortly before. There's Elocraft. All the stuff's covered up, but if you go on my TikTok or I think on my shorts, I actually took a video of the K4 if you want to see an example of it. Yeah, I need to start saving money for next year too. I didn't buy much. All I bought was some M&P coax and the ARL Operator's Handbook for 2022, which that seems like a really cool reference. There's a dog. Had to get the dog in the shot. That's MFJ. They were out there pedaling. And this was the first building. I didn't get all the buildings in this, like the smaller buildings they had. So there's Ham Study. Who was that? I tried to make sure I got most of like the signs when I walked by the booths. Sometimes I couldn't do that, but um, let's see. M17 was there at Ham Open. He's not there, but Ed was there. I got to talk to him a bunch. Hobby PCB. And then this must be the second building. Oh, that's not right. Did I put the same? Wow, I might be an idiot, guys. I think I put the same video twice. All right, well, you're going to have to trust me that when I re-upload it, I'm going to have all 3 buildings in it. I don't know how that happened. So, just have to trust me that it'll have all 3 in it. Let's see. Yeah, this is like one of the other buildings. So yeah, I mean, it was a lot of ground to cover. A lot of ground. That was kind of like one of the big things, and kind of like one of my only complaints about the whole thing was that there wasn't a lot of places to like sit down in like the cool shade. Especially on like the second day, that was kind of an issue. Um, like a lot of the places to sit down outside, if you look at like other pictures and stuff, they were like outside benches in the middle of the sun. So I'm hoping next year, like they can get one of the forum halls they used and just turn it into like seating, eating area. I mean, I know that's gonna make like an extra mess, but same time, you don't want people getting like heat exhaustion or whatever. Um, yeah, so I messed up the video, I guess somehow. It looked fine when I reviewed it before this, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to re-upload it. Um, so yeah, I expect that to be coming here in the near future. Yeah, so like I said, this was pretty massive. This whole setup, and I had fun though. I learned a lot. I got to see a lot. And you know what? Like, kind of the big thing with like the amateur radio stuff is you have such a hard time conceptualizing like a lot of products and equipment until it's actually in your hands. So going to something like this is really useful if you're like, man, I really want this radio or that radio. Hey, there's a Ham Radio 2.0. Talking to the guy at Messi and Poloni. But yeah, it's like a really good chance to actually get gear in your hands and be like, man, I like this or I don't like this. And maybe like not even just like Dayton. Like I'm sure you could go to like Hamcation, uh, maybe like some smaller ones, like maybe Huntsville, maybe Mike and Key out west. I don't know what's in the southwest though. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to like re-upload that video because I didn't upload it right. He was missing the whole part with ICOM in there in the same building at K2BSA and AORL. So yeah, like I said, it was a really good experience for me to figure out like because I do a lot of portable operating and I want to figure out what gear is going to be good for me to take in a woods per se. So it helped me like put the 991 and the 891 side by side and be like, okay, I like how this might fit in my backpack, or I don't like how this might fit in my backpack, or this is going to present an issue when in the fashion that I want to use it. Because it's not like you could just go down to Walmart and be like, oh, I want an 891. Go down to Walmart and see how it looks. Be like, oh, maybe not. So it was really good for that. It was really good for seeing, um, like the differences, even like just coax cable, for instance. Like the junk coax I have at home from Amazon, just like the sheer difference in quality of engineering to that and something like MNP, or not even just MNP, like really just anyone better than whatever that Chinese crap on Amazon is. So, you know, it was really helpful for me to see that you know the products that I've been keeping my eyes on, and hopefully I'll be purchasing in the near future. uh, One thing I did find true from one of my rants is that and what's up, Andy, is that the people out there selling tube radios at the flea market for like $500 still. It's like, I don't know what you're gonna do about them, but I would hope, and I know this is gonna get out to all of like 10 people, but I would hope like people out there who are going out there to sell your 40, 50, 60-year-old radios that five or six other people are also selling at the same flea market. I would hope these people would be like, okay, why don't I mark the price down to something really reasonable, like couple $100, right? Because with those kinds of radios, you're not going to be able to do digital. It's going to have way worse filtering than anything you can buy on the market right now, even for like the same price you're asking at the Hamfest. And I do understand like some of these are collector's items, and I respect that. But at the same time, if we want to get people in the hobby, start getting this old gear and treating it like old gear. You wouldn't get a Windows 98 and sell it for $1,000 tomorrow. No one would buy it, right? Unless it was like a special machine that does a special thing. But you get my point. Like, just standard run of the mill Windows 98 computer is not going to sell for $1,000 tomorrow because it has like almost no functionality compared to like I can build a computer for a fourth of that price and get 1,000 times the performance, right? So it's the same thing. Like my Zygu G90, I don't have it on right now, but um, $400 for that thing, and it's way better than most of those boat anchors as far as filtering, as far as it has a preamp, it has a an attenuator, it has sideband, FM, like it's just feature packed. And when you're trying to say, "Oh, I'm selling this boat anchor and I'm selling it for $400," I'm like, why? And I know this is a little bit of a rant, but like old hams out there, like realize your gear might have been $600 40 years ago, but now it's literally a boat anchor. Like people will probably use it for that just in the metal weight. Okay. You just sell it for a couple $100 so a new ham can get on the air. Is it that hard? I don't know. Let's see. They should also be able to set it up so potential customers can try it out. So yeah, there is a bit of an issue with that because with the flea market side, it was like in the middle of like a horse racetrack. So I don't know how you get that much electricity out there. Unless people were bringing batteries or generators, it's kind of like, well, you're on your own. Um, and they did not really have flea market stuff on the inside. I guess they didn't really want that. That was kind of my understanding is they didn't really want people putting old junk essentially, um, inside. And and like I said, these ham radio flea markets just always surprise me because it's like, dude, like if you croak tomorrow, there's a good chance your relatives are putting your shit in Goodwill and it's gonna end up getting sold for $10. So be lucky. I'm saying like I would buy it for 100. I'm just saying. All right. So all right. Well, that's it. I'm gonna re-upload that video I showed you earlier. This time correctly, and it's just gonna be like a B-roll of the three main buildings at Hamvention, and you're gonna be able to see most all the booths. Some of them were still covered up because I took it in the morning. So, all right, and I see Kyle. What's up, Kyle? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the stream. I gotta go take care of some stuff, and I will see you guys later. If you are hunting POTA, look for me on the air tomorrow. Anyways, 7 threes, and I will see you all in soon.